Yeah, I just have no qualm or issue now with people knowing what she did. I mean, my daughter's telling me these stories, and I'm horrified. It's absolutely insane. One of the last conversations we had with her was when, um, we were out of town for a couple days, and she was watching the kids, and uh, she called up Lady Raggets in the what it would have been the middle of the day. Because yeah, we were at a convention, so we're talking before 5 o'clock, and she was or no, sorry, it was about 9 o'clock. It was about 9 o'clock, so it was safe, And she was calling us from our bedroom, which is where she would stay when she stayed with the kids. No problem with that. And then she's calling us from our bedroom, obviously critically intoxicated, and it was pretty disconcerting to have that happen. But she was a nanny and she was watching the kids, but we also have a 17-year-old, so I'm not super concerned if anybody needed anything. They had siblings to be there as well. But this is someone that we paid. I mean, her annual income was well north of $50,000 plus expenses from our payments alone. I mean, and if she had a couple side gigs that she would do where she would tell us that she wasn't available for certain days or whatever because she had another job, so she earned extra money there. When you're paying someone over $50,000 a year, I think it's fair that they don't commit a crime by giving your child alcohol. Oh, and I say plus expenses. Those expenses were over $30,000 for the year too. So all told, about $90,000 of money went towards this person annually. So yeah, like I said, when she left our employment, she left at one of the worst possible times, in the middle of the school year. That required some days 3 drivers, just because of the kids having different activities in different places at the same time. Abandoning us at that point. We asked her to stay and finish out the school year, and she said no. Abandoning us at that point was absolutely brutal, and it was devastating to our schedule. It added tons of stress. It made me unable to stream almost entirely during the daytime for a significant amount of time. And to find out that she was doing that while being extremely intoxicated and while giving our one of our children alcohol. Did I say 19K or 90K? It was about 90, with expenses. Now, a lot of the expenses were because they, as groceries and stuff for the house and food for the kids after they got picked up from an activity if they wanted to go grab fast food on the way home and stuff like that. So kind of ridiculous.
Just saying, her name being Cheney really should have tipped you off. Glad there wasn't birdshot around to accidentally get you with.
She would have left you needing a man-made micropeen.
I also will publicly say, because some people have asked so far in the chat, there was never anything, any inappropriate or untoward activity with her at all during any of her employment, including like drugs, or we never drank alcohol with her. We never, she was obviously not involved and had no knowledge of the drug stuff at all. She stated that to the police as well, I believe, if I remember her interview correctly, and I will happily back her up and say that she had no knowledge of that activity and should not be in any way accused with or associated with it. That was not on her at all, and I would not have people misunderstand that. What she did was what she did. It had nothing to do with what I was doing. Derek Boodle says YouTubers must make a lot of money if they can afford a 90K nanny. Sometimes we can make a lot of money, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the idea is, of course, it's an investment into your own time. And The problem was it didn't work out that way. It did for a little while at the beginning. It was nice, and then Buckmaster says, now that police know, they don't need you to report. If she did give your kids alcohol, anyone can report her and police can charge her. I don't have a lot of interest in re-traumatizing my child by re-exposing her to the nanny who did this stuff. I really don't. It'd be a hard case to prove anyway. It's he said, she said. My child would have to testify for that. I'm not really interested in that. I don't care. I'm more concerned that her, employers know, and we have made her current employers aware of it because her new employers are, she does the same job for them. So obviously we would want them to know. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I could afford a $90,000 a year nanny now. Don't get me wrong. Things have changed. That's okay. I've been saying for years, because people talked about whatever, like, oh, it could all go away tomorrow. It's like, yeah, I know it could. And for a while it did. But I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay in the long run. My advice to people is in appropriate and legal ways, enjoy life's fruits when you have them. Because if you don't enjoy the fruits of your labor and the fruits of your diligence and effort and character, then and you die, then you've wasted all that investment. I mean, it has its own reward in some ways, but my goodness, it part of the reward is the obvious stuff. If you become successful in business, if you become successful in anything, enjoy it and exploit it, because you might lose it the next day. Sometimes you lose it because your own actions, like me, which I shouldn't say lose it. I'm being way over dramatic on that. But sometimes you impact it because of your own actions. But other times, again, like you get sick. Anything could happen and change your life and change your stars, so to speak. So enjoy it, man. That's what life is for. Don't enjoy it with a bunch of drugs, though. Don't do that. That's a mistake. That will cause a bunch of havoc in your life and lead to a lot of pain and trauma that you don't need. The most banned queen says, lying degenerate piece of shit. Okay. We'll start off that way. Anyone not on drugs knows you and your coked out wife should have realized what your nanny was doing. How would you propose to realize that your nanny gave your child alcohol when neither of them said that and they did it while you were away? What is your proposed method of me having to know that? It's not like she got her drunk while we were there. She didn't. She never gave her, to my knowledge. She gave her alcohol like one time, which is still completely unacceptable and is still a crime. But it's not like she got her like drunk, and it wasn't something that she did on a regular basis. I think she got drunk and made a stupid decision, thought it would be funny or something, like harmless. But it's not harmless, right? Again, I'm not criticizing other parents who've done that. I think I grew up in the 80s, and like I said, a lot of kids had tried a sip or two of beer in their life by the time they were, I don't know, whatever age. It was a little bit different. But that was their parents doing that, their parents' decisions to do that. And it was also, I think at the time it was less frequently illegal. Or might have been completely legal for a parent to do it, especially in the state of Texas, where I was. But yeah, it's hard to realize something's going on when it happens entirely when you're not around. Which is the purpose of having a nanny, is that someone to be there, like rather than finding a babysitter every single time, you just have someone who you can rely on to, to be there for your kids. Especially that was there was a lot of travel that year for work. Did four live shows, I think. 4 live shows, and then I have a general other travel that happened throughout the year as well. So she was with the kids a significant amount of time. That was her job. It was to allow, to allow me to do mine.